Amrita Parag Karambalkar. I'm a psychologist and I work with Foundree and Mindseed schools. And today we'll be talking about ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. ADHD is one of the most commonly seen neurodevelopmental disorder amongst children. It is usually diagnosed in early childhood. However, it is known to extend to adulthood as well. So, individuals with ADHD may have problems controlling and handling their impulsive behavior. They might have problems expressing their emotions. They may seem to be acting without any regard for consequences. They can come across as inattentive, overactive, forgetful, and clumsy. However, it is important to understand that ADHD is not an illness or it's not a disease. It is a condition or it is a difficulty. And children with this kind of neurodivergent difficulty tend to process information in a different way as compared to others. Most of the times, children with ADHD have good IQ and can work on themselves to be included in mainstream careers, mainstream education, and it doesn't become an hindrance to them if the condition is managed and if the family and the surrounding, the teachers included, are helpful and supporting of the children. Most cases of ADHD usually go undetected because the children are labeled to be mischievous or naughty or troublemakers. The first type is the predominantly inattentive type. This is where the person finds it difficult to focus on one task at a time, to stay organized, to complete any task, to follow instructions, to focus on even activities that they seem to love. They seem forgetful and distracted. The second type of ADHD is the predominantly hyperactive type. In this, the person needs to be constantly in motion. They can be over talkative, they fidget a lot, they're restless, impulsive, and they tend to interrupt conversations. The third type is a combination type, which is a combination of both the inattentive and the hyperactivity type. There are there is a very thin border or thin line between these varieties and very little difference in their treatments. However, the parents or the teachers of the child with ADHD need to know these differences. Children with ADHD also might indulge in some kind of self-stimulating behavior, such as swaying their body, rocking themselves, scratching themselves, humming continuously, nail biting, lip biting, tapping of fingers and feet in a very nervous activity. And they also might become aggressive and have very strained relationships with their peers or their friends. So, this behavior can be managed and handled through timely diagnosis, intervention, and treatment. Diagnosis of ADHD can be done by psychologists, developmental pediatricians, and psychiatrists. However, it is recommended that the diagnosis and further certification is done in a government hospital in India, since the certification would help the child avail of all the benefits that he or she is entitled to throughout their education life. It can be managed and controlled through behavior therapy, through training of parents and caregivers, and only in some cases medication would be required. However, the training of parents, caregivers, family members, teachers is the first line of treatment before medication comes in. The family of the child with ADHD can actually help make learning easy and fun for the child by putting in some extra time, by taking some training, and putting in some extra efforts. There are very simple steps that can be small tactics that can be used by family members of ADHD, which will help them manage their condition and go a long way. The first thing that family members can do is plan the entire day in advance for them so that the child knows exactly what to expect at what time. Second, Instructions can be broken down into small, simple steps, one at a time, and explained slowly so that the child finds it easy to follow them, and that builds his confidence. Third, whatever little change, whatever growth is seen, it can be appreciated. Any positive behavior can be appreciated through rewards, and the rewards must also be withdrawn for any boundaries that are overstepped. When the child is beginning to feel triggered or angry, frustrated, upset, it is extremely important that the family member intervenes immediately to distract the child by taking him or her away from the situation causing distress. Next, it's important to make sure that the child is involved in some kind of physical activity or sport, such as running, long jump, etc., every day, so as to keep their energy levels consumed. However, nothing too strenuous is recommended near bedtime. And the most important thing to do with ADHD children is to ensure that bedtimes, meal times, wake up times are strictly adhered to. Screen time is not recommended for ADHD children since it can be stimulating for them. So it's better to avoid screens as much as possible. So these are simple steps that family members or parents and caregivers can take for the children of ADHD. There are certain measures that even the teachers can take so as to assist them and help them learn better in the school environment. Teachers can do certain steps. One is by making the worksheets smaller in size and giving multiple worksheets but smaller in size so that they are timed at a time wherein the child can only concentrate on, say, a limited number of things, and then he can switch to the next task and he doesn't feel bored, he doesn't feel distracted, and the performance is not affected. Secondly, they can give extra time to write longer answers, considering that the child will be distracted. The child can also be allowed to take a break during class and move around. Any positive development can be rewarded wherein the child feels confident and the behavior is reinforced. Basic and simple rules can be established in a class for classroom behavior, which are explained to the child one at a time, and it will help him adhere to them. And lastly, a structured, planned, and organized environment for studies can be provided in the classroom specifically for these children so that they know what to expect and they are not taken by surprise. These are very basic things that the teachers, the family members of children with ADHD can do to help them. It's always better if the parents notice something, some of these symptoms, if they see something in a child, they are worried about their child's well being, then it's always better to approach a developmental pediatrician or a psychologist so that they might get further guidance. Thank you.